Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching Stargirl, Season 3, Episode 5, Chapter 5, The Thief. I am so excited to keep watching this show. I am a week late getting to this because I had issues with my medication last week, so my head was all over the place. I'm feeling mostly better now, and just really excited to jump back in because the last episode just... I need to know what's going to happen. I need Courtney to tell Cameron the truth somehow. I need to find out what's happening with Cindy. It's just a lot I need to find out. So yes, reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go. So that looks very much like she killed him. My current random theory is she wanted the laptop because he had done so much digging and information stealing that maybe he knows something about the experiments her father did, but who knows.
I didn't do it.
Still so many questions. We know she stole the laptop, but I don't know that she did the rest of it. Don't think she's Growly McGrowlison.
We'll figure this out together.
It's so hard because she needs to try and tell him the truth somehow, but it's just such a horrible, huge truth that he could so easily misunderstand or take the wrong way, and because he's not going to want to believe the worst of his father. I'm stressed. They're so cute and so sweet, but I'm just stressed. I just have to believe he's not going to think the worst of her, whatever he hears, that he'll give her the benefit of the doubt. We've seen him to be such a sweet kid.
They went down into the tunnels with Sylvester to see if there's any sign of Dragon King being alive. So far, nothing.
He took the staff this time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
So,
Courtney,
what are you gonna do now?
I know you're for respecting Cameron's privacy and, like, he's trusted you with a secret and stuff, but given the whole magnitude of this, like, the situation and the truth behind what happened with his dad and who his dad really was, I think maybe we should talk about it with Pat.
So,
Gonna look into the files about his dad. Talk to them. You know, Cameron hasn't hurt anyone. We're giving Cindy the benefit of the doubt. We can bloody well give him the benefit of the doubt.
only a few rooms left.
Talk to them. I mean, maybe not these three. They're probably not the most understanding, but talk to Courtney.
I think it's gonna lead us somewhere big.
I mean, this particular thread. You're very good at dramatic speeches.
The ISA.
He's not stable.
Mocking me.
Sir?
The dead, they're mocking me.
Sir?
We are gonna find them, and they're gonna...
Therapy. Have you heard of therapy?
And if you have a bad moment, just help them learn from it.
Exactly. You can't lie. Don't lie to them. Don't hide from them.
Away, you got me justice.
I mean, he
Yeah,
was a
that was
child
nice.
and it was an accident.
But going up against Eclipso? That was real superhero stuff.
It was very brave.
Yeah, tell it to everyone else.
You're a baby and we want to protect babies.
You know,
The Mike would not appreciate that, but it's the
no one
truth.
took me seriously either.
It's because you were a spoiled rich boy.
Well, I made things happen, is what.
With money.
Like I proved to everybody wrong about the
Sorry,
stuff.
I just don't like this man. And I
People said I couldn't.
don't care for how much screen time he's getting.
Maybe
What's next?
She's smiling at her phone.
Lab and I tracked him back in the day. South of here.
Courtney, I know you're young and falling in love.
Last night.
I'm good. You've got it covered. Goodbye, everyone.
I love that she's looking out for Cameron, but talk to the people that know.
An omelets.
I don't.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Again, why so much screen time of this man in my Stargirl show?
You have so many uses.
Why are you saying that like it's news to you? Are you not really Sylvester? Vile man. He should not bother them at school. Like, in between classes, should be Beth, call me back when you can. Unless it's life or death, sir. Stay in school, kids.
Hey, handsome.
Jesus Christ, this man.
Who's the guy?
I don't know. I mean, she'll
Or
tell you
girl.
probably, but
Don't be judgmental.
this is what we want.
Cameron is gonna be just fine. He's basically a nice guy.
Exactly.
Chloe's not so nice to me. No one is, besides you, really.
Yeah, because you were horrible to everybody else.
Other people? I kind of like the idea of you and Cameron.
I mean, I love it, but I do think she needs to tell him sooner than later because it will find out some other way.
But wouldn't you rather still think Starman was your dad instead of some degenerate who didn't want you?
It's the truth. I think she'd rather know the truth.
You don't want him to feel like us.
But it's the truth. Instead of him trying to desperately live up to this ideal of this man that doesn't even exist. But that is another way to look at it. Exactly. So if he's going to be in her life, he's going to find out about Stargirl, and yeah. I mean, they're teenagers, he doesn't need to find out right now, but you know, if this were to be a long-term relationship.
Join us, the young all-stars.
Yeah, it's very funny.
But he could still be out there, so what do we tell Cindy?
She's part of the team. She needs to be brought up to speed on everything.
Mhm.
And I bet she could help.
I still don't trust her, okay?
I know, but
But I guess I'm open to it if that's what Courtney wants.
Courtney.
Court. Okay. So get lost.
Why doesn't he like him? I know he was being mean to that teacher that one time.
Is your problem? I am staring right at
Because is it who his father is? Because that's no...
I am.
Don't tell me you're hanging out with that creep.
He's not a creep. Do not say that.
Okay.
Genuinely, what is Rick's... Okay, what's...
Bad timing, Court. We are trying to find...
I mean, it is bad timing with what's happening, but like... what is Rick... Have I forgotten something, an altercation between Rick and Cameron? Because obviously I know there was a time Cameron was being a jerk to the teacher because he was like, young hormones and ice powers were stressing him out. And I don't condone that, and he's doing better now. But is that the whole, like, sum of it? I understand like having a sort of lingering resentment of, like, there's always the danger. What if he has been told the truth and has been twisted by his grandparents and is after, you know, we would need to keep an eye out on Courtney, like, while supporting her life choices, in the same way that with Cindy, but there's even less so with him because his father never recruited him.
Killer.
Sorry, Courtney, but Cameron's dad...
Cameron's not his dad any more than I'm mine, Yolanda.
Exactly.
That's not fair to him.
Cameron never worked with his dad. If we're... You were literally just talking about how you were open to looping in Cindy. Come on, my children, but you're young. You've handled things badly. And Courtney is not handling this well because she is acting exactly like a young kid in love, ignoring everything around her because she's in love. I don't think any of them are handling this well.
But people really do change.
No, but she walks around being so hostile to everyone in her mannerisms.
Have you?
Is that what she was trying to get him to do? He's trying to contain it.
I don't know why you want to hurt me.
First rule I have. Protect the family.
You just sit them down and say, look, you support me and that's all that matters. If I do need you for something, I will call you.
I saw her eyes get white with ice last summer because I made her mad. So I wanted to push Cameron's buttons and...
Okay, so that was what she was doing.
I did.
Courtney knows.
He has his family's powers. I've read the story, and it only ends one way.
She's giving you the benefit of the
I
doubt.
wouldn't finish.
Like, she's literally giving you the benefit of the doubt despite who your family is and what you've become. Why shouldn't she do the same with him? I think she shouldn't be doing it alone.
Here, what's going on?
24 hours a day?
I'm not sure.
There's got to be a reason your dad limited it.
Just be careful. Because your dad created that for a reason.
And he put a limit on it for a reason. A really short limit in the grand scheme of things.
If you need me, just call. All right? I'll see you tomorrow.
I don't think this man is giving good advice to these children. Like, he should really sit down, but don't just take it off because there is a reason your dad didn't. I'm scared for Rick now.
If you stay out of my life as Dr. Midnight. What?
She loves you and wants you safe.
It's dangerous.
I understand.
Give her a hug. She wants you out of it because she loves you. It's not like either or. You can be part of her life otherwise. You can call her on her phone and say, how was your maths test? There's a reason for the limiter, Rick, please. I don't know what that reason is, but there will be one. I get why you don't trust her, but she's on the team. This isn't really the way to go about it. Oh, it's going to devastate him, but he has to find out before he finds out a false version of the truth.
Maybe I can bring it to you.
They're so sweet and it's going to go wrong, and I know it is, and I'm stressed. Please don't make it go wrong, show. Subvert expectations. Be bold. Oh, fuck. That's the other reason I'm stressed.
I'm gonna kick her ass.
You could talk to her as well, sweetheart, and then if we don't have good answers, potentially. Well, that was definitely an annoying place to end the episode. It's about time they find out Cindy took the laptop, and hopefully it's going to force her to come clean about whatever she is doing. I currently think she is having some kind of adverse side effect from what her father did to her, and so she is looking for a cure, and she wanted the laptop, as we saw in this, to find the location of the labs, because she's desperately trying to cure herself. Maybe she did something trying to reverse what her father did, and that triggered that. Something is happening to her and she wants answers. I don't believe she killed him. Yes, we saw her standing over the body with her little blade out. Maybe she saw a Dragon King X creature and doesn't want to tell them because they don't trust her. I don't know, but I guess most likely she arrived, maybe even with the weapons out, ready to threaten the gambler because she wanted the laptop or wanted the information, found his dead body, and, you know, you'd be weapons at the ready. Is the person that did this, are they here? Are they going to come for me? I don't think Cindy killed him. There's still have a Grady McGralson out there, but hopefully this next episode is going to force them to confront her finally, and for her to let us know what she's up to, because if she truly wants to be a part of this team, there are two things she's going to need to do. The first thing is tell us the truth. The second thing is stop being so aggressive all the time, and I know it's partly a defense mechanism in some ways because she knows they don't like her, and so if she comes and she's like, oh hi guys, how are you, and then they're like, fuck you Cindy, then that feels far worse. And if she's like, oh my god losers, I'm deigning to give you my presents, then when they say fuck you, she's like, yeah, exactly. But it doesn't help her win friends or prove that she's changed, because she does need to prove to them that she's changed, and she's acting like she doesn't. So hopefully we'll finally get some traction there. Sylvester, go to therapy, leave Blue Valley, please, and thank you. The children, Mike and Jakeem, need to not. They need to grow up. I mean, he kind of has a point. I can't remember exactly how old Courtney was supposed to be, but they're like 14, 15 now. She was only like 15 in the first season. Like, it was very stressful to me at the time because she was so young. He's not that much younger than her, and they're refusing to give him any role. Now, I will also add that Mike doesn't currently have any kind of superpower or suit or technological device. He has Stripe that he can borrow, but Pat isn't Stripe. So unless Pat does the Sylvester thing and gives Mike Stripe, I don't really see Mike fitting in the team just yet. Although obviously Jakeem has the magical wish pen, which is quite difficult to use. I'm stressed for them and what trouble they're going to end up getting themselves into on the way. And then Courtney and Cameron, they are really sweet. There is a, I would say, tiny danger that his grandparents have already told him stuff. I think the bigger danger is them potentially telling him something in between episodes and that making him a loose cannon of some kind. But I believe from what we have seen, Cameron is a sweet person, a good person who has the capability for darkness, because literally everybody does. And maybe when he was a kid and his mum died, he struggled with his anger issues. Like a lot of kids, when you go through traumatic events, you struggle with that. But the kid we met in season 1, he was, I can't remember all the details, but I'm pretty sure he was covering up rude graffiti on Yolanda's locker with artwork or something. I know that, like, when the magician kid was like, I'm doing a magic trick, and Courtney lied to be like, yeah, your trick worked, and Cameron saw it and he was kind of like, that was sweet of you. Like, he wasn't threatening. He was such a sweet, kind kid that Courtney was starting to fall for, that when it was like, oh my god, his dad's the bad guy, you know, that was the reveals, because how could this nice kid have that dad as his dad? And like, I can remember times where, like, didn't they go out for ice cream on the mum's birthday or something, and like, we very much saw that Icicle, in his own world, Icicle was one of the villains that thought he was a good guy, but he was trying to keep Cameron out of it. He didn't want Cameron involved. So Cameron maybe has some anger issues. So does Rick. So do a lot of us. I think at the end of the day, he is a good person. And yes, obviously this huge secret exists. If his grandparents were dead / unaware of who Icicle was and what had happened, maybe we could get away with never telling him. Though I do also think potentially Courtney would not need to be in his life then, because she'd need to tell the truth. If they're a high school fling, no need to tell them the truth. If they're a relationship that deepens into something more serious, that is when you begin to start needing to tell someone the truth. And I almost feel like they need to sit down with him and Pat and Barbara and no one else, because like Sylvester's a jerk, and just in the most loving, we're here for you way possible, explain the history of who his father was. Again, I don't know how he could believe it. He idolizes his father and thinks he's wonderful, and yeah, it feels like shit when you find out a parent you once loved is a piece of shit, you know. I have been through that on a much lesser scale, because I'm not a supervillain, just a shit person. And yeah, it sucks, but at the end of the day, it's the truth. And Cameron is feeling the need to be like his father, to live up to his father, to kind of honour his father, and he needs to know the truth. Especially as his grandparents could very well tell him a twisted version of the truth. His grandparents could say, your father had a brilliant plan and he wanted to save America, he wanted to save lives, and Courtney and her evil friends, they killed him. And that would definitely, given that Cameron is grieving his father, and I presume trusts his grandparents, as creepy as they are, it could pose problems for us. Whereas, and again, I think if Courtney sat him down with Pat and Barbara, or sat him down with Pat and Barbara nearby and told him the truth, I don't think he would handle it well. I think it would very much be a case where he wouldn't want to believe her, he'd be in denial, but at the end of the day, it's a process we would need to go through, and I think he deserves to be told, because that would help nurture the sweetness in him, whereas his grandparents will only help nurture the darkness. I am very concerned also about Rick removing the limiter. There will be a reason his father put that in there. It's always been ridiculous to me, the idea of this thing, and for 1 hour a day, or sorry, the fight started after half an hour, and then, you know, it's still ongoing 30 minutes later, now you're weak as in. It's always been a ridiculous idea, but there's clearly a reason behind it being limited. Either it alters your brain, makes you go to your head, it does something. It's not going to be good that he's removed the limiter, and Sylvester is an idiot for just being like, oh, it's a limiter, I'm off now, kid. Sylvester, can you go to therapy, out of town, and stay there? This was a brilliant episode, very excited for the next one. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.